Like, if you and Nani not working out, David, I'm right here. One thing I do miss about my old setup that literally came out so weird, but like I literally could just reach out and like start the camera. I can't do that no more. As you guys see, I can't. It's not in distance. Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. Always remember that I am the captain. You are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate. Period. Hey y'all, I'm Harriyanna, and if you're new here, this is your first time ever seeing me. I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I have within these spaces. Now, if you did not watch my last video, which I can understand why you didn't, because it wasn't really what I usually talk about on this channel, but I have a new setup, okay? My ass was hurting basically over there in that corner of my room, so I went to the other corner of the room that had a desk and a table, okay? Don't know why. If you guys watched a lot of like my old content, you would remember like this desk. But anyway, we're gonna be talking about Lilo and Stitch today. Now this is a franchise that I've always just had like a big love for, so I think it would just be very interesting to just take a deep dive into it. So on to today's video. I wanted to talk about a Disney movie. Like I'm already doing on my Patreon. I'm doing a series on my Patreon where I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions on a lot of like all like the Disney movies. But Lilo and Stitch is one in particular where I don't really see enough content on YouTube about it, so I felt like it would be a little bit more appropriate to put this here on my main channel for more people to see. Now, I said I wanted to talk about a Disney movie, and this is a movie that I really don't think it gets the love it deserves. Like, so many people love Lilo and Stitch, but like, do you appreciate Lilo and Stitch? Tell the truth. Do you appreciate the art that is Lilo and Stitch? Do you just like it because you think Stitch is cute, which there's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like a lot of people just kind of don't get the movie, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of them don't understand like the true message that it was getting across. They just see it as like, oh, aliens fighting and Stitch is cute and funny and Nani is cute. There, that's like a lot of people's just kind of like opinions on it. Nani is very beautiful, by the way. So like I said, we are going to be talking about Lilo and Stitch today and why I personally think this movie is better as an adult than it was when I was a child. And let's just say Lilo and Stitch understood the assignment. They understood the assignment very well, and I'm going to get into why I think Lilo and Stitch understood the assignment very well. Now, when I was little, I watched the show Lilo and Stitch, the series, way more than Lilo and Stitch. I really don't remember watching, you know what, I don't think I ever really watched the Lilo and Stitch movie when I was little. It probably was just on as like background noise and I was just probably playing with my Bratz dolls or whatever, but I never seen the actual movie that started it all when I was a kid. I always just watched Lilo and Stitch the series, and I would come home every day from either school or when I went to my after school cheerleading program and just watched Lilo and Stitch the series. I really did enjoy it for the most part. I never had bad blood with Lilo and Stitch the series. I never hated it for the most part. I always just saw it as like, you know, fun alien adventures. A human girl and her weird looking dog friend. That's just all what I saw it as. I didn't really think there was any depth to it for the most part. But like Lilo and Stitch was like a big thing in the 2000s. It's so weird because when you think about it now, Lilo and Stitch is seen as like underrated, which it is, like the first film in my opinion, but the overall franchise used to run Disney Channel, to be specifically. You remember them last 5 years of the 2010s decade of how Descendants ran everything on Disney Channel and it was freaking everywhere? That's how Lilo and Stitch was throughout the 2000s, okay? Like it even had its own High School Musical segment. That's how big it was, okay? Literally, they did their own version to get your head in the game, and I was here for it, okay? I'm about to probably go rewatch it again, because that brought back memories, okay? Lilo and Stitch even had its own crossover with a lot of major Disney Channel shows, like Kim Possible and the Proud Family, okay? That Proud Family one was trippy. I was just like, How do these two coexist in the same world? It's not mathing, okay? I can understand how Lilo and Stitch exist in the same world as Kim Possible, but not the Proud Family. Probably the Proud Family movie universe. That movie honestly feels like its own thing. But anyway, we're getting off topic. So they crossed over with multiple Disney Channel shows, animated, and they had multiple movies. They had toys everywhere. They even had video games, okay? Like Lilo and Stitch was that girl. That movie was that girl. You could not tell her anything. Whether you loved Lilo and Stitch in your childhood or you hated it, you saw it every freaking where, okay? If you were on Disney Channel. You saw it every freaking where. And I am still very salty to this day that Disney, this is like an old viral Tumblr post that I made where I said I don't understand how Disney never made a roller coaster called Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride. Y'all missed out on a good opportunity to make some money, okay? If Disney ever makes a roller coaster called Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride, I may consider going to the parks, okay? I may consider it. I may consider it. I may pay that overpriced ticket and go ride the Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride and then come back home. Okay? Okay. But like I said, they were everywhere. And Lilo and Stitch, Disney made big bank with them. They made very, very big bank with them. But because of how much Disney Channel pushed Lilo and Stitch, a lot of people really don't even remember how it started. It's like Lilo and Stitch started off as one thing and then it turned into something else. Like it really was just like a movie about family with an alien adventure on the side, and then the entire franchise just turned into an alien adventure. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. I just remember liking Lilo and Stitch as a kid for the alien monster adventure stuff. I thought it was very, very fun. It was just very, very cool to look at. And that's like what a lot of kids are interested to at that age. They like to see cool monsters fighting, okay? That's part of the reason why I loved Teen Titans so much when I was younger. And I ended up liking it for something different when I got older because I liked it more for the human aspect. When I was a kid, I didn't really think there was anything much to Lilo and Stitch. I just thought it was a alien fun adventure movie. Like I said, I watched Lilo and Stitch, the series, every day. I saw the movies, Stitch the movie, Leroy and Stitch, all of those. I watched those, but I never saw the movie that started it all. I did not watch Lilo and Stitch until I was 14 years old. I watched it when I came home one day after my dad picked me up from my after school cheerleading program, and it was just on Disney Junior. It was not planned at all. I did not say that I wanted to come home and just watch Lilo and Stitch. I just thought it was on and then I just went to it. So my freshman year of high school, that's when I did watch Lilo and Stitch. It was a very strange year for me because I wasn't really fitting in with like a lot of kids at my school, and I was dealing with a lot of past trauma from my middle school days. It was just not great. It was really freaking horrible, okay? And I found a lot of comfort when it came to like, you know, children's programming. That's part of the reason why a lot of the content that I make has to do with children's programming, because I'm somebody that never really stopped watching children's programming, and that is part of the reason why I am able to analyze it the way I do, because I watch this stuff consistently and I've noticed a lot of the ongoing tropes and stuff. So I watched Lilo and Stitch for the first time that night. It aired on Disney Junior, and this is when I was going into my phase of where I would come home every weekend and watch an animated Disney movie. If you know about this on Patreon, you should go support right away. And I cried. I cried the rest of the night. I did not know that the origin of Lilo and Stitch was that freaking deep and that freaking sad. Like, I was hurt. I was hurt. 14-year-old Harry was hurt, okay? I was crying my eyes out because, like, I had no idea. That this was the origin of Nani and Lilo's story, and this is how Lilo got Stitch. I had no idea that any of this happened. So let's go into what about their sister dynamic and their relationship with Stitch. Let's just go straight into it. Like I said, I never knew this till I was older, and it's actually a tragedy. This film is a tragedy. The film is about two sisters named Lilo and Nani, whose parents were killed, and they still have not adjusted to that. I cannot bear to think about that. I don't even want to think about that. But Lilo is significantly younger than Nani, as Nani is entering her first stages of adulthood, while Lilo literally is about 6 years old. So Nani is a legal adult, and she basically has to take care of her little sister because she doesn't want CPS to take her. Like, she doesn't want anything bad to her. She wants to have her little sister there in her care, which I understand. You don't want somebody taking your sibling and doing something mean with them. Like, you just don't even want to think about that. You don't even want to risk it. So Nani is just really struggling in this film, and it was very nice to see that in a Disney movie, because in a lot of Disney films we're like so used to seeing a lot of like glitz and glamour, not glitz and glamour for I say, but a lot of the characters are very rich and very well off and whatnot. It was nice to see a film in modern day Disney where the character was struggling. I really did like that. That's just kind of like a small little thing. I really did enjoy that though. But like literally all the stress that Nani had on her was thrown at her at such a young age. I don't care what nobody says. 19 is young. Like, people like to say like you're getting old when you're like 19, 20, 21. No, your life is just now starting, okay? Your life barely started, all right? And Nani literally had all of this thrown at her, and she didn't expect any of this. She did not think she was going to be 19 taking care of her little sister. Like, Nani is at that age where she is still finding herself. At 19, you are still finding yourself. This literally is your last year of being a teenager. You're trying to figure out how you're gonna do this thing called adulthood. You're literally in your second year of adulthood, but you still feel like a child. You really don't know how to function at all. And she does not have her parents to do that. And on top of her not having her parents there with her, she has to take care of her little sister. I can't even bear to be stressed out about that. Like, at the age now and taking care of a 6-year-old, that is just terrifying to me. That is just terrifying to me. And all of this really just changed for her because she has to be her little sister's full-on caretaker now. Like, she's her little sister's guardian. And you can tell that she's just really frustrated with it all because she constantly is looking for work to support her little sister, and she doesn't really know what to do much with her little sister because her little sister doesn't really fit in all that much. And she has to deal with her little sister acting out. She has to deal with finding a job and whatnot. She's just put all of these adult responsibilities on her so quickly, and she doesn't know how to deal with any of them. And she doesn't know what she's doing. And I really do appreciate that, because me, even though I am a few years older than Nani, I still don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. This is frustrating. I don't like adulthood. This is annoying. It's annoying. Actually, I do like adulthood. Like, I like how I can think for myself and do what I want, and I have my own money and whatnot. Adulthood has its perks and cons, okay? I would say that. But one thing, I don't want to be a kid again. No. No. Never. Anyway. Like, she's 19, still trying to figure out her first stages of adulthood. As I said, she's scared. Nani, for the most part, she's just very scared, as Lilo has no friends and went through a traumatic event. That is when Nani decides that, okay, Lilo needs a friend, okay? She doesn't know what to do with her sister. None of the kids at her school like her. Lilo needs a little friend, so she decides to get Lilo a dog, who is Stitch, who is not a dog, but you know how the story goes. I'm pretty sure somebody who has never seen Lilo and Stitch, or vaguely remembers Lilo and Stitch, doesn't remember how the story plays out. But anyway, Stitch and all his little alien adventures help them grow their small, broken little family. Don't cry. Don't cry. Stitch literally helped their family so much. He literally just really freaking helped their family. And for the most part, I really relate to Lilo, because even though I was not a 6-year-old kid, I was about like 10 years older than Lilo. How? 6 plus 10? That's 16. So I was about 8 years older than Lilo. Like I said, I was 14. But I did see a lot of myself in Lilo at that age, where the other girls in my class thought I was weird, like how Lilo was. And I carried around a freaking Hello Kitty purse, okay? I legit did not care. I was unapologetically me, the dorky, nerdy kid that I always was. I was unapologetically me. I was very open about watching cartoons, and I would talk to like the guys in my class that were also nerds about cartoons and whatnot. And I would like read books in class in between time when I would finish up my work and whatever. And I would read books like at lunchtime too if I didn't feel like talking to people or whatnot. And I didn't really talk at lunch. I just kind of sat by myself a lot of the times. Or I would sit with people and just kind of not really talk to them all that much. And my Stitch was children's and families entertainment. I'm sorry, that's literally what my Stitch was. Now, as I rewatch Lilo and Stitch as an adult, because that was my first time ever viewing as a teenager, and I realized how great the film was, and it was way more than what Disney Channel presented it to be as. It's just like this alien saga when it really didn't start off like that. I realized another reason what made this movie so great was David. And I didn't realize this until I rewatched the film as an adult. Now, what I love about David is that, yes, he's boyfriend goals. I'm not going to lie. David Kawana is boyfriend goals. Like, if you and Nani not working out, David, I'm right here. I'm right here. But anyway, like I said, I love David. I think he was one of my favorite, like, male Disney characters in, like, a Disney film. And he did have an interest in Naughty. But what I loved about David for the most part is that David could read the room. David could read the freaking room. That is something that a lot of y'all out here need to learn how to do. Read the freaking room like David Kawana. Okay, like I said, he knew that Nani was going through a pretty rough time, you know, trying to find work and taking care of her little sister. He knew that Nani was going through it. And instead of him trying to hop down on her, like a lot of these dudes do when they see you're going through a rough time and they think giving you some dick is going to help you, he wanted to help her. Like, he wanted to help her. Like, it's obvious that he had love for her, but he knew to hold back because he was like, yeah, she needs a friend right now more than she needs a lover. Like, it's so obvious that he had great love for Nani, and she really just needed somebody that cared for her at the moment. Nani didn't really need a relationship at this stage in her life because she's still trying to find herself and figure out who she is, as she kind of has to become a completely different person because she has to take care of a literal child, and she did not sign up for this at all. But you know, she had to do what she had to do. And I just thought that was very nice. I really just love the dynamic between Nani and David. Fun fact, in one of my fan fictions I wrote, it's a Descendants fan fiction, don't ask, but I made them married. They got married in that story, so I thought it was cute. Anyway, what made it work is that I love how this movie took like a very sad and realistic thing, because this does happen where people's parents pass away and they're legal adults and they have to take care of their younger siblings, or their parents are pretty absent and they still have to take care of their younger siblings. They took a very sad thing and they made it work with an alien storyline. I found that it was weird, obscure, but it worked. It works. Like, it's funny to think how all the alien stuff helped them grow, because I saw people complaining about talking about one aspect of the film works better than the other, but I disagree with that because the alien stuff wouldn't affect the human family stuff if it was never there. Like, it played an important factor into the family in the movie. Like, these three people, Lilo, Nani, and David, they were all brought closer together because of this alien encounter that they had. And also, this film makes you realize that, like, family is just not all about, like, you know, being blood related. Alex, David was just their friend. Stitch is literally experiment 626. He is not human, okay? Your family can be your friends, okay? Your family can be your friends. And so many people know their friends to be their family because a lot of people tolerate their friends way more than their blood family. And the message that this movie was trying to get across about how your family can be a hot mess, it can be broken, but at the end of the day, as long as you have people that are there for you and that care about you, that's all that matters. You have a family no matter how small and broken it is. And that message right there that the movie got across, they did it very well. Lilo and Stitch understood the assignment. That is just all I have to say about this film. I love praising Lilo and Stitch. I just wish more people talk about this aspect of the film instead of like, you know, the Nani is thick and the alien stuff and them being transphobic and homophobic and whatnot. Like, can y'all, Lilo and Stitch, please don't be gross when it comes to this film. It's a cinematic masterpiece. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to follow me on everything. If you guys like this video, please consider joining my Patreon. Seriously, all you guys' contributions really help me continue to make the content that I do. Every little last bit counts. Even you guys' views help me a lot. My lowest tier on Patreon is $1. Don't forget to follow me on everything at Harriyanna. Don't forget to go to my shop, harriyannahook.com. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. If you've never seen Lilo and Stitch, watch it, the first movie, and then you can go watch all the rest of the fun alien stuff later. And if it's been a while since you've seen Lilo and Stitch, give it a rewatch. Give it a rewatch. This is a film that I just highly recommend, and I think everybody will watch it because you may not like the human stuff in it. You may not like the sad stuff in it. You may like the alien stuff a lot better. And if you're like that, just watch the sequels. Just watch Lilo and Stitch the series, okay? Lilo and Stitch is just a very fun franchise, and it just had a very tragic beginning, and I do enjoy how it is viewed in a more positive, happy light, but we should remember its origins. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a good night. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know no one